Hey, classmates, this is Deanna.
Hey guys, this is Brett, and welcome back to week 56 of Hard Lessons True Crime podcast.
I'm so proud of us.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
because we've done it for like 3 weeks in a row now.
Uh-huh.
It is amazing. It's the little things in life.
And made 56 episodes.
56 episodes.
Yep.
We just didn't give up.
Oh,
That's the key.
absolutely.
So, Teach, how was your week?
Mhm. From what I can remember, it was a week like every other week. Same stuff, different day.
You did have an extra day off this week thanks to the snowstorm.
I did. Oh, like that Tuesday.
Tuesday, school was canceled.
That's right.
First delayed, and then they said, nah, let's stay home.
Yeah, which I'm glad they did. I mean, we may have been able to do a 2-hour delay on that Tuesday.
Right.
Yeah.
Tuesday.
But then again, I don't know. It still looked pretty rough.
It did. It did. It was pretty slick out there. My job, of course, did not cancel.
No. And you have to have at least 50% attendance for it to count.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
I never knew that.
You got to have at least 50% or more
I'll be
for
darned.
attendance for it to count as your day, as your hours. If you don't have that many, it's like,
what are you doing?
yeah, because to reteach 50% of the school.
That does make sense.
Yep.
That does make sense.
So apparently I had an extra day off. See, I don't even remember anything. Like, I honestly don't remember much about the week.
Don't know much psychology.
I don't.
That's enough singing. I forgot I had a microphone right here.
Yep. It's okay.
Somebody's probably shutting us off already. Like, okay. But if they did, they listened to 2 minutes and 26 seconds, and it counts as a full episode listen if they listen to at least a minute. So thank you. All right. Are you ready to get started?
I am ready. Class is in session.
The more you know.
Absolutely less I need in my brain.
Star Wars, you're a fan of,
Okay.
right?
Uh-huh.
The very first Star Wars movie was released on May 25th, 1977.
Cool.
I told Teach earlier in the week that this week's The More You Know has to do with how some things in history and time aren't as far apart as what you would think. So, Star Wars released on May 25th, 1977.
1977.
The last person in the world to be executed by guillotine was Hamada de Dujandavbi. I may have butchered that name. He was executed on September 7th, 1977. So just 4 months after Star Wars. So somebody was executed by guillotine after Star Wars was released.
I'm not getting the connection.
Well, when I think guillotine, I'm thinking like back in the 1700s. No,
What?
the last one was used in 1977.
Okay. I still okay. Where was he at?
He was at I've got it down here, uh, Beaumontes Penitentiary in France. He was condemned for the kidnapping, torture, and murder of 21-year-old Elizabeth Busquetto in France.
So not only did one of the greatest movie franchises start in 77, the
Also,
last guillotined
execution
person execution
was in 1977. after Star Wars was released, 4 months after.
Yes, I don't know what the big deal about that was.
Star Wars just came first. You know,
Oh, because I'm
that's
like,
that's the big deal. I mean,
oh,
that's honestly it.
okay,
Yeah,
right.
I thought it was cool.
Well, that's okay. You're the one looking up the information,
Yeah,
so that who you have to impress is you.
I just thought, man, I thought guillotines would have been stopped back in like the early 1800s.
Yeah, but that was the very last one in France ever done.
Yep,
Huh.
yep.
Wonder how. I don't know. I just don't know that I can willfully walk myself to a place where I know my head's gonna get lopped off,
Right.
and then you're just there, and there's nothing you can do except hear the thing come down.
Yeah, that would be something interesting to know.
Raid travel. And do you have time to eat? Does your brain have time to even process it?
Right. I don't know how true this is. I don't know how they would be able to test it. But one of the strange facts, and I've never used it on the more you know because I'm like, I don't. There's too many loopholes there. I don't know that I could say, yep, this is a for sure deal. But the last sense that you lose when you die
Uh-huh.
is the sense of hearing, and so it's entirely possible that you could hear yourself being pronounced dead, like the doctor pronouncing you dead. Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. I don't know how they test it. I don't know how they know, but I've read it 3 or 4 different times.
Well, I need more information on this because that's scary.
Could you imagine?
No, this is why I'm like freaked out now. Like, there's nothing in your eyeballs. There's nothing happening in your brain. That's
But
why I'm
yet,
like, I don't know
but yet
about
you can
that.
still hear.
Yeah, I don't think that's right.
All right. Well, you ready for today's episode,
I
Case?
am.
All right. Well, it is a host choice. And so, in the past, we've done, speaking of guillotines, we have done medieval torture devices. We have done the dark history of Wizard of Oz. But today we're going to stick with the true crime because I stumbled across a unsolved murder from the 1990s, and I just wanted to cover it.
Yeah.
So,
You said 1990s, and here I was like, oh, but it's like from the 40s or 50s or something.
yeah,
No, just the 90s.
just the 90s.
Not that too far back there, and yet it feels.
Here, this will blow your mind. That was over 30 years ago.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm like, what?
I just, it's closer than further.
Closer than further. You got a point.
I mean,
You're not wrong.
90s is closer than 60s, 50s, 40s.
Right.
So in my mind, it works out.
I like your math.
This is why I'm not a math teacher. I don't know what you're looking for.
My laptop.
So I don't know what you did with it.
I left it sitting here.
I have not touched it.
Okay. Somebody broke in and stole it.
Yes. Out of all our things, they stole that.
Well, why would they not?
Anyway.
So this week we're going to discuss Melissa Ann Witt.
Melissa Ann Witt passed away in the 1990s.
She was born March 9th, 1975, and passed away December 1st, 1994, in Fort Smith, Arkansas.
94.
Same year our baby girl came into the world.
Yes.
Her parents were Johnny and Mary Ann Witt.
What day did you say? December what?
1st.
Oh, okay.
Her parents were Johnny and Mary Ann Witt. And Melissa was described as being the type of daughter anybody would want. She was smart, she was beautiful, and she was serious about school. She had a part-time job
Okay.
with a local dentist.
Where did they live?
Fort Smith, Arkansas.
Okay, you mentioned that, and my brain tuned it out for some reason. I was picturing Dallas, and I'm like, that's not right.
Yeah, Fort Smith, Arkansas.
So, just to be transparent, I haven't had my medicine in like 2 days, so.
Well, I'll make a deal with you.
It's pretty evident, isn't it?
I'll make a deal with you. Any question you have, just ask me and I'll answer it.
Okay.
All right.
You won't get irritated?
No. Fort Smith, Arkansas.
Fort Smith, Arkansas. Okay. She had a job.
Yes, she was working part-time for a local dentist while going to school at the local junior college to become a dental hygienist.
Oh, nice.
So she was very driven. As a matter of fact, she was in her first semester still because she had just graduated high school.
Okay.
In May of '94. And she was so driven, such a hard worker, that the school named her a school ambassador. And I was like, I've never heard of that term before. So, um, what the school ambassador did was they would go out to special events, different things like that, and would try to recruit students to go to that college.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. So Johnny and Marianne, her mom and dad, would divorce, and Melissa was still living with her mom at the time of her death.
Okay, so they divorced while she was in high school?
Yes.
Okay.
On Thursday, December 1st, 1994, Melissa had asked Marianne if she could borrow $20. Now, Marianne, being her mom, being the responsible parent, was trying to teach financial responsibility to Melissa, and I read like 4 or 5 different articles. None of them went into what she was wanting to borrow the money for, but
You knew I'd ask.
I knew it. I'm sure it was something that was like, okay, you can do it. That's a want, not a need. So Marianne told her no.
Okay. This must be pretty significant.
And yeah, and so as the day goes on, Marianne starts feeling guilty about not giving her the money.
Okay.
And so this was on a Thursday. Mary Ann bowled in a church bowling league on Thursday nights. So before she left the house, she left a note for Melissa saying, "Hey, I'm at the bowling alley for church bowling night. Come on out and I'll buy you a burger for supper."
Okay. This is December 1st. Thursday, December 1st, 1994.
Thursday, December 1st.
Okay.
But Melissa got off work at 5 o'clock that evening, and one of her coworkers asked, "Hey, can you drop me off at my house?" And she said, "Sure." But her car wouldn't start.
Oh, no.
But a good Samaritan, who was also leaving work at a nearby business, had jumper cables and jumped her car off.
And no problems.
No problems.
See, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, maybe she needed it $20 for gas.
Right. So Melissa drops off her coworker. She goes home, changes out of her clothes, comes down into the kitchen area, and finds the note her mom left. And was like, "Oh, burger."
Oh, yeah.
So it is believed that Melissa arrived at Bowling World Bowling Alley between 6:30 and 7 p.m. that evening.
Okay.
She never made it inside the building.
I was like, there's something like about to happen.
She never made it inside.
I need one of those keyboards that just make that noise.
See, we'll talk about it later. Perhaps it was someone Melissa knew. Perhaps it was a stranger looking for someone to kidnap. Like I said in the beginning, kind of gave it away. This is unsolved. So we have no idea. Excuse me.
I'm like, how did they figure out she was missing? Everybody walk out and be like, well, there's her car. But where is she?
No, we'll get to that in a second, too. Clues found at the scene her gold one of her gold hoop earrings was found laying in the parking lot. A hair clip that Mary Ann said, yes, that's Melissa's, was found, and it was crushed,
Like,
leading detectives to believe that she received some sort of head trauma. Like
or
maybe
maybe
somebody,
it fell out of her hair while she was wrestling, trying to get away, and then when they got away, they ran over it.
yeah, that could
Okay.
be it.
Okay.
Um, her car keys were found
Where?
in the parking lot with
Okay.
small drops of blood on it,
Okay.
and several pools of blood in the parking lot. Now you said what they do, walk out and see her car there, and it was like, her car was not discovered for 2 days. One detective said they had to have driven off in it and then drove it back because we were all over the parking lot.
Oh, okay.
Um, Other reports say I don't think it was ever moved because we found her keys in the parking lot. But they did describe it as a very big,
Large.
large parking lot, and it was off in a very discreet corner. So it could have been overlooked. I don't know.
I,
But 2 days after she was reported missing is when they found her car.
nope. Nope. Like, this is my daughter's stuff. I want to see every freaking car in this parking lot.
You're
I
searching
would be all
everyone.
over that place.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, because I would
Now,
just be mad at first and
oh,
not be,
rational. Yeah.
yeah, like, nope, I'm looking. Where are we going? What are we doing?
And unfortunately, with this being in the 90s, there was no video cameras
Of course
in
not.
the parking lot.
Gosh.
So we're going to fast forward about 30 days to January 13th, 1995. Two men out in the Ozark National Forest hunting near Franklin County found Melissa's body. She was nude, and her clothes, shoes, and even her jewelry, including a Mickey Mouse watch that she had so proudly just bought herself, was removed from her body and nowhere to be found.
Somebody kept her clothes.
Yeah. Autopsy showed that she died from asphyxiation due to strangulation and that she had been sexually assaulted.
Well, hmm.
Over the years, several departments have aided in the investigation, including the Fort Smith Police Department, the Van Buren, Arkansas Police Department, and the Crawford and Sebastian County Sheriff's Office, along with the FBI.
I believe this is a case for cold justice.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, how cool would that be for them to go and just start backtracking and like, who was in the parking lot then? Like, who was bowling? Who's terminate or whatever got over first? Who was leading? Let's figure this out.
Right.
And then you said she was naked,
Yes.
no clothes anywhere, huh?
No clothes anywhere.
So the person was not remorseful.
I
Didn't
wouldn't say
care.
that. Didn't care how she was found. You know, she was described as being not like a goody two shoes, but being modest and being like she was close with, even though her mom and dad were divorced and she lived with their mom, she was close with both of her parents
Yeah.
and considered a daddy's girl. And yeah, and so leaving her in that state is like, tells me in my former cop thinking, this is somebody that knew her and just wanted to embarrass her, humiliate her, is what I would
Yeah.
think.
What if it was the dude that jumped them off? That's the first thing that I went to.
Right.
Because literally that was the last person to see her.
Now, I will here in a little bit talk about three different suspects And I think the last one that I talk about, I, I think he's going to be our man, but we'll
Okay.
get into that.
Okay.
The case is still open and it's unsolved. They are still taking in information. So if anybody knows anything, I know we don't reach out everywhere, but it's another one of those deals where if you know something, say something. So if you know something, you hear somebody rambling off, or this triggers a memory, get a hold of the Fort Smith, Arkansas Police Department, the FBI.
Your weird cousin or uncle talks about what he did when he was 30 years old.
Exactly.
Like, I'd be spilling the beans. Don't tell me nothing like that. Because it'd be like,
Yeah, these family secrets don't get held too tightly.
not with me. Like, you kill somebody? No. Why you sitting at my table? You need to be in jail.
Burn, burn. So the first suspect that we're going to talk about,
Okay.
Travis Couch.
Okay.
Travis was a career criminal, especially with violence against women.
Ooh.
He had been in and out of jail in Arizona, Colorado, Florida, Louisiana, Minnesota, North and South Carolina, and South Dakota.
Wow. He didn't want to come visit Texas.
Yeah, he's probably scared of Texas.
Probably. If he would have, you get caught, you're just like, dude, you had luck, man.
You're stuck like Chuck. He had a long history of drug and alcohol abuse. Rap sheet includes arrests for sexual assault, burglary, and possession of firearms.
Yikes.
So Travis is not a good dude.
So how is he connected to this?
That's where we're going. Yay. He had moved back to Arkansas in October of 94, just weeks before Melissa's murder.
October to December? That's like
6 weeks.
6 weeks.
Maybe.
8 weeks most.
Law enforcement started looking at Travis because of his criminal history and also for the fact that he worked as a carpenter at a church camp that was owned by his family that was located less than 10 miles from where Melissa's body was found.
Okay. So that's the connection, is that he was just there in town, he was working at the youth camp. Maybe she had been out there, or maybe he saw her around town somewhere. Just
Maybe he had a dentist appointment. She worked on his teeth. And,
there you go.
yeah.
Did they check that out?
I don't know. Nothing was said about that, but that's where I would have gone first.
Surely the detectives did that.
Surely. But they never could. Is that your phone?
Yes, it's time to take medication.
You can. I was like, well, Jesus is calling or something. And unfortunately, the law enforcement could never collect enough evidence to connect Travis to the murder. Now, I will say that a few years later in 1997, Couch was found guilty of an assault on a 20-year-old female that he had asked at a gas station if he could have a ride. And just a few miles down the road, he started assaulting her, and she was able to escape and turn him in. So he goes to trial for it and is found guilty. And I love Arkansas because of his long rap sheet. On this assault, he was sentenced to 64 years in prison.
Oh, he's still there.
He is still there. He is in a medium maximum security prison in what was called the Arkansas Valley.
Okay.
Um, so the second person, this one I don't put any.
What was that first dude's name?
Travis Couch.
Oh, I was going for Doug. Like, oh.
Surprisingly, his middle name is Douglas.
Huh.
Just kidding. I don't know what his middle name is. I was just trying to make you feel better. I'm sorry, Teach.
It's okay. Okay, second dude.
Second dude. I don't put a lot of faith in this one because we never learn his name.
Oh, that's rude.
There is an author named LaDonna Humphrey, Humphrey. She wrote a book called The Girl I Never Knew, and also a documentary called Uneven Ground, the Melissa Witt story. And so her theory is that this unnamed man killed Melissa. They had been having a relationship, Melissa and this unnamed man.
Is that why he's unnamed?
No, I'll get to that.
Okay.
He was 10 years older than Melissa, and Melissa wrote about possible physical abuse in the relationship in her diary. And so she had broke up with him.
Okay.
Now, that's why I said maybe, earlier I'd said maybe it was somebody that she knew that was in the parking lot. So this is who I was referencing. LaDonna, the author, was warned by the judge not to mention this man's name in her book or the documentary because the police didn't feel like he was a viable suspect. And so told her, if you do, you run the risk of being sued for liability or libel.
For defamation of character type thing?
Basically.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah. So he is unnamed.
I would have went with something that rhymes with like Schmiller.
Instead of Bruce Miller, it's Schmoose Briller.
Exactly. Rhymes with Dave.
Rave. Police did look into it, but they could not put any connections together, and he had unnamed man had an alibi.
Well, as we know, people lie for other people.
No, he had receipts and stuff. He was out of town working. I had hotel receipts.
Okay, so he's off the list.
He's off the list.
Okay.
Third suspect. This is the one that I'm thinking is our man.
Okay.
And we'll also be covering him at some point in our podcast.
Ooh.
Charles Ray Vines, the River Valley Killer.
I was like, I've heard this name. Charles Ray Vines. My pen ain't working.
You're both.
Okay.
Vines raped and murdered 2 women in nearby counties and was caught after assaulting a 16-year-old girl. 16-year-old girl's dad almost killed Vines, but deputies showed up and pulled him off of him.
I'll keep that thought to myself.
I would not go, Dad. I didn't see nothing.
I would have just slowly got out of the car. Although they probably didn't know what was going on.
Right. So I told you the FBI has been involved with the investigation over the years.
Mm-hmm.
In 2019, they directed their attention to Vines. He had been asked over the years about it, and he kept denying it. They turned their direction towards him after a lady who worked with Vine's mother sent in a tip via email that he would very often come to their place of employment to ask his mom for money, for cigarettes, for whatever, and he would have a bowling league shirt on. So that puts him that he at least bowls.
Or maybe he got the shirt from the Goodwill.
He could have.
It was just weird.
Yeah, there's the connection.
It's a connection.
Now, after he had been arrested for these other murders.
Yeah.
Um, and they did searches on his house, property, vehicles, all that.
Mm-hmm.
They found hand-drawn maps of the Ozark Mountains, which is where Melissa was found. Not just maps you go in and buy, like maps he had drawn out himself.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, hand-drawn. Also, a completed work order with Vine's signature that was in the work order. Work order was in an 8-minute drive of where Melissa's body was found. So he knows this area.
He knows this area. He's in the vicinity. He knows the whole area.
Exactly. This is like,
Ding, 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 ding.
to me,
Okay.
this is what nails the head on the coffin.
Okay.
The FBI brought out canines out to where, and of course, this is 2019. She was murdered in 94, found in 95.
Yeah.
So this has been 24 years.
Okay.
But they bring canines out to the area where Melissa's body was found. They, after all this time,
Mm-hmm.
they uncovered an old mattress and cigarette filters that was a brand called Cambridge that hasn't been sold in forever.
Uh-huh.
Sent those in for DNA testing, and they both came back to Vines.
What about the mattress?
That too.
Like
There was DNA.
They sent stains from that mattress.
Yeah, they cut it off and sent it in, and
Was there blood and stuff on it? I mean, like,
it just said DNA stains. It didn't say.
that's probably
But
semen.
she was sexually assaulted.
Right.
So
I'm thinking if he had a hidden mattress, she wasn't the first one.
I'm thinking so. Now, I said the Cambridge filters was found in that area. The mattress.
Mm-hmm.
There was also several Cambridge filters found underneath Melissa's body. Cambridge wasn't a very popular brand of cigarette, hence they're no longer in business.
Do they have those? I'd be
They're
like,
keeping
okay,
a lot of stuff secret.
like they have these that were found over here, and it's positive DNA for him.
And now
These were found under her body.
let's test those and
So
see.
I bet you they did. If
I'm
they didn't,
sure.
they're dumb. I don't know
Exactly.
how you got a job at the FBI.
Yeah. Vine's always.
Sorry, don't come arrest me.
We love the FBI.
I like to work for them. You call us dumb.
And we're not letting you work for us. By the way, congratulations to Teach's cousin, Jamie Downs. He recently retired as a special investigator for the Texas Rangers.
That's right, he did.
Captain
Yep.
Downs. So proud of that dude.
He dedicated his life to putting bad guys away.
And he did amazing at it.
Yes.
So
I remember him first starting out.
The first time I met him, I was still in law enforcement. Is it his brother Dirk or cousin nephew?
Nephew.
Okay, his nephew Dirk Downs was also in law enforcement, and of course Jamie was already a Texas Ranger. Hey, the laptop's been found. And so it was cool. All of us having that law enforcement connection, and so congratulations, Jamie. Well done.
Absolutely. I don't know that he even listens, but long career dedicated to putting bad guys away
Absolutely.
and investigating and making sure that things were done correctly.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Texas Ranger. I mean, like, what?
I wonder if he ever met Walker.
Walker, Texas Ranger? I don't know, but I guarantee there was somebody that they nicknamed Walker.
Oh, every police department has somebody they nicknamed Walker.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me review Mr. Vines.
Okay.
Lived in the area.
Mm-hmm.
Had a bowling league shirt on, so he possibly was a part of a bowling league.
Yeah, maybe he was outside smoking when she pulled up, and he was like, "Ooh."
Exactly. Could have been out there, whatever. Maybe they found cigarette butts like that at the bowling alley.
Maybe.
He knew the area because he had hand-drawn maps in the Ozark Mountains area where she conveniently was found. Had a work order for whatever
That area.
in that area, specifically in that area. There was a mattress and Cambridge cigarette butts located out there because of the cadaver dogs found it.
Yes, ma'am.
Or it must have been like covered up. I wonder how close to where she was found was that stuff found.
Right. That would have been good to know.
Yes. And then,
that is Melissa Ann Witt.
oh, almost looked like Mr. Cole.
Oh, I didn't think about that till just then, but you're right.
Mm-hmm. Nicole would kick anybody's butt. Any whoville. So they tested the cigarette butts that were found out there, and it matches the DNA to Vines.
Correct.
Okay.
The mattress.
So that is a whole bunch of circumstantial evidence that could lead to that, but there's something missing, I'm thinking.
Well, over the years, Vines always denied any involvement in the case.
Okay.
I didn't.
He's just not going to own up to it, huh?
He's just not going to own up to it. And they can't go any further with Vines because in September of 2019, he passed away while in prison from pancreatic cancer.
Okay. So, but they still have his DNA.
Right.
Can they still investigate?
They could still close it and investigate it.
Okay.
You know, and I was telling one of my coworkers this week, they're like, "So what kind of case you doing this week?" And I was like, "Oh, it's an unsolved murder." Man, why would you want to cover an unsolved murder? Because it can still be solved. The lady in the dunes from 1970, she was recently
found, discovered.
They discovered her identity.
Yes, that's what I was going for.
The Somerton man from, I believe, Australia in the 1950s, 1960s, they recently discovered his identity. Mm-hmm. The boy in the box from the 1920s in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, they recently discovered his identity.
I didn't know that.
Just like the boy in the box. Oh, it's a sad one. This is sad. Little boy found dead in a cardboard box, the streets of Philadelphia in 1920s. Nobody.
Like just out on the street? Yeah. Was it a busy street?
I don't know. We'll look at it.
Okay. Because now I'm wanting to go kick somebody's butt.
Well, we'd have to get time machine. My flux capacitor's not working right now. So
still yeah. I'm still mad at Amarillo, so
I understand. So yeah, I mean, so that's why I do unsolved cases, because it can still be solved.
Yeah, somebody might remember something. Somebody could have said something.
I think Vines is the man.
It sounds very much like it.
And even though he's no longer here to be punished for it, Melissa deserves that. For it to be said publicly, hey, this is who killed Melissa.
Yes. I don't know if her parents are still alive, but at least they could get a little bit of peace. And if they're not alive, then they already know the answer.
You know what I love about you?
What?
A lot of times when you say something, is something I'm just about to talk about. Johnny.
Psychic senses.
Johnny Witt passed away in 2007, and Mary Ann in 2011. So
did they continue to fight?
Oh, tooth and nail. Yes, ma'am. But they did not live long enough to see. But like you said, they know who did it. They know. They're with their baby.
That's right. I would have been knocking on every door I could find. Like, who's the list of the bowling tournament people or whatever league people? I want to talk to every one of them. What do you drive? What do you smoke?
Absolutely.
Where were you on this night?
Now, if you want more information on the Melissa Witt case, there's the book that I talked about earlier by LaDonna Humphrey, The Girl I Never Knew, plus the documentary that LaDonna wrote. Um,
Oh wow, here's pictures of like in the forest.
yes, ma'am.
Let's look at this.
Unsettled Ground, I believe, is the name of that documentary. Plus, there's also a 6-episode docu-series on Hulu called At Wit's End, The Hunt for a Killer. And Witt is Melissa's last name, Witt, At Wit's End, The Hunt for a Killer.
Yep.
So,
Looking at this.
I don't know who committed this heinous crime, but
Road.
they took a bright and shining person away from the world too soon, and I hope they stump their toe every morning for eternity.
Well, if it was that person, Mr. Bonds, he's not even worth actually calling a Mr.
Yeah.
Vines, just from everything that the FBI knows about him and is published, everything is pointing towards him.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, and he died of pancreatic cancer. That's that's painful.
That is
So, and remember that in death, everybody is judged, and
escaping that judgment.
there's no judgment that anybody on this earth could ever inflict on these people that could compare to what his judgment was. So
Back,
I'm like, oof, I
back
ain't gonna
on up.
judge you. Yeah, you can just take all your stuff and
Exactly.
judge yourself because it's gonna be bad.
It's going to be gnarly.
Yeah.
Okay, so my bibliography for this week,
Mm-hmm.
FoxNews.com. Investigators hunt for Melissa Witt's Arkansas killer 30 years after the mysterious trail of blood.
Where did the blood supposedly led to probably the vehicle, right?
Right.
Okay.
Findagrave.com. It's a very interesting website. Just search Melissa Ann Missy Witt.
I
And
know an actor that could play him.
Nicolas Cage.
No.
Oh,
Keep going.
okay. And abcnews.go.com. Who killed Melissa Witt? And I tried not to cough. I'm so sorry. I forgot to bring my water up here.
D. Thomas Howell? Can you see the resemblance?
I can now that you brought it up.
Yeah. Or maybe there's somebody else I'm thinking of too. But anyway. Well,
And Teach, that is the story of.
that's her body?
Yes, ma'am.
What the crap building is that?
Well,
If that's her body, is this like an abandoned house?
I.
Huh.
Hmm. I don't know.
Because I'm like,
That's the first time I've seen that photo.
it's part of whatever I just pulled up, and it said 5 photos, and it's part of this. So that's an abandoned house out there. No wonder that's probably where the mattress and stuff was.
Yeah, probably so. Wasn't she a beautiful young lady?
Very pretty.
Had so much to give the world.
See, look, it says somewhere there's photos, and
That's fine.
yeah, that was Vines. So that's why I'm like, wait a second, this is a house.
Maybe it was like a hunting cabin.
I don't think hunting cabins look that nice.
Probably not.
Or big.
Yeah.
Like this is a house. Like here's a big old window. Huh. Maybe we need to do some more investigation.
Maybe so. All right, Teach. So, what is my grade?
I gotta give you an A. That was pretty good.
Thank you.
Yay.
Back on the way.
Back on the way.
2 A's in a row after I dipped down to a B plus.
Yes. So the less details is the lower the grade is going to be. Because I like details.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to know the who. I want to know the where, the what, and the when, and all the things in between. Except I don't really care to know their kindergarten teachers.
Are you sure? I mean,
yeah, like I don't care.
Might be an important detail.
No, if it's not food tied to it, I don't care. I don't want to know about their fourth cousin twice removed, married to their dad. I don't care.
All right, classmates, I'm shaking up the bowl and teacher's reaching in.
Look there, 5 minutes to spare.
Boom.
My bedtime. Oh, international. Oh my god. I think I should get to pick countries or something.
Well, you get to pick
that part.
That part. All right.
Buzzkill.
A pen. The official pen of Heartless True Crime Podcast. Right here.
Hey guys, don't forget about the Comic-Con coming up in March. Lots of people. In fact, I believe it is booked out. Meaning there's no more spots available. There's going to be a wrestler.
Hernandez, for those of you that are wrestling fans, may remember him from his time in TNA, Total Nonstop Action Wrestling, as a member of the LAX tag team. Big, tall, big man.
Big man. The pictures I saw. Yeah. I'm really how tall is he? Am I going to look like the little bitty Smurfy thing next to him?
Yes.
Or if he'd let me poke a muscle. Is it going to work on me?
$5.
I'd be like, screw that, man.
There's going to be Mark Britton. For anime fans, he voiced 7 different characters on Dragon Ball Z and now travels the country doing stand-up.
And the animator for
Miles Morales, one of the animators for Miles Morales is going to be there.
The cartoon part of it, the magazine or whatever you call it, I don't know.
Comic book?
The comic book? Or was the movie?
It's just that illustrator for Miles Morales.
What's his name?
I don't remember.
Oh. So. Okay. Because there's cover artist, design, editor-in-chief.
Right. I don't remember.
We'll need to find out.
Yeah.
Because if it's true, then we can
He's dying.
Big Bang Theory nerds.
Right. Some other DC and Marvel Comics artists are going to be there.
2 artists.
There's going to be tattoo artists. There's the Tammy Aaron, who played Pippi Longstocking.
I'm going to have to refresh my memory about these.
Is going to be there. Go on Facebook, go to Boomtown Comic Con. They have a whole listing of everybody that's going to be there. It's going to be fun. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. While you're on Facebook, or even go to our YouTube channel. Teach and I was in Borger yesterday, and we made a video for the Boomtown Comic Con. Posted it to the Hard Lessons Facebook page, and we posted it to our YouTube page. So go check that out. Also, I want to say, if you are wanting some spooky podcast, mixed in with a little bit of true crime, even some cryptids, go give a listen to my buddy Blake Mosley with South Carolina Spook Show. He had a new episode come out this week. He does all of his episodes deal with South Carolina, hence it's called South Carolina Spook Show. But he played our commercial on his episode this week, so Y'all go give Blake a listen to, and he's a good dude. He's got another podcast, if you're into music, called When Words Fail, Music Speaks. He's a talented musician, so go give him a listen. And but listen to us first.
Well, wouldn't they have to listen to us first before they got that information?
Yes, I was just making statements.
Like,
Listen, I'm a professional, okay? You
okay.
got to listen to mine all the way through. Then I'll give a shout out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do that first.
No, then they'd just shut us off and go listen to the others. They got to hear everything I got to ramble on about.
Oh, okay. It would be nice to get some feedback on our little adventure podcast here. Like, what could we improve? Do we need to have more structured talking, our story, or when he provides his information? Like, or we're just going to keep on being like we are and randomly
Ramble
like this, what we are.
That's a new T-shirt. We randomly ramble.
Yes. Hard lesson. We randomly random. Oh.
TM. Trademark. It's ours.
Laney, we need a shirt.
Laney Hayes, Britton, whatever your last name is.
Yes.
Not related to Mark Britton. Laney Britton.
Laney, we need a shirt. Hard lessons.
We randomly ramble.
Yes.
All right, guys. Hope y'all have a great week. Snowmageddon apparently is coming for us again this week. I don't know.
We will be purchasing bread, milk, toilet paper, and bananas.
What about the eggs?
Oh, I forgot eggs.
We got to live off French toast.
That's what people think.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on. Usually we get one good snow a year, and but we had almost 10 inches a couple weeks ago. We had another 7 inches last week, and now they're calling for like Thursday into Friday. I've seen anywhere from 8.5 to 20 inches. So who knows? We may get nothing. Anyway, classmates, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all and hope y'all have a good week.
Absolutely. Be safe. Class is dismissed.